Hey everyone, and welcome to a new student interview. Today I'm here with John. How are you doing today, Jon?
Hey, I'm doing amazing. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well right now in Bali in the office. We of course scheduled this meeting. So yeah, I think a lot of people are interested into why you got success, how you got started. So if correctly, you started doing YouTube or YouTube automation 2 years ago, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And with what did you start?
I basically started with like a long form channel, and I was basically trying all kinds of stuff. Basically, when I saw that something was working, I was trying it for some time. I was even trying to basically record myself with a phone and basically doing like some self-improvement videos and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah, but
amazing.
like none of that worked, and yeah, I just kept getting experience. Actually, actually, one channel even picked up, but I didn't know how to write a correct appeal, so it didn't get monetized. So yeah, so
That sucks. But now you do know how to do a good appeal because we helped you actually
now I do. Yeah,
keep your monetization on your main channel. And how much is your main channel making right now?
my channel is currently making around $500 per day. It's sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but yeah, around that.
Yeah, so more than 5 figures a month in pure profit.
Yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. And where are you from?
I'm from Czech Republic.
Ah, nice. Beautiful place.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
it's amazing here.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of the places I normally go with around Christmas actually. So
Yeah,
it's lovely. I love the Christmas markets over there.
yeah, it's amazing here.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And what
so
would you say really got you into like YouTube automation? Because you started 2 years ago making a couple videos yourself. And what was the idea for now actually going ahead and not necessarily even taking coaching because you took the program? What was the reason you decided to take the program?
well, definitely I was for a long time I was jumping around different businesses. So I was trying drop shipping, I was trying selling ebooks and all kinds of stuff. And I knew that if I would keep doing that, I would never find any success. So I knew that I needed to commit to one thing and to actually kind of start taking it seriously. I knew that I had to find some mentors and some group because I knew that that was basically the key to success to anything, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just found you guys and I decided to go for it. And definitely the commitment of basically committing to something, of investing in myself was something that helped me a lot. And I started taking it more seriously. And yeah, that definitely helped.
Yeah, that's very interesting you say that. I always have a saying as well, is whenever you get something for free, there's no real commitment. And when you have to pay
Yeah,
for something, you have the commitment of making sure that the commitment you have given, in this case money, actually brings some sort of a return. If you don't do anything with it, it feels like a waste of money. But if you go ahead
yeah,
and to be active in the community, watch all the videos, join all the group lessons, ask all the questions, then of course you get worth for your money. And that, of course, is the goal
yeah.
with technically speaking, any sort of coaching business. And because you already said it before as well, is you actually saw me on Twitter. And what was it that you saw on my
Mm.
Twitter that you were like, hey, I actually want to get started with Warner instead of like someone else?
So it was definitely like two things. One was that I found really interesting that someone was actually making like millions from YouTube. I
Yep.
didn't even know that like that stuff was possible. I thought that like I know that you could make like 10,000 per month and stuff like that, but I had no idea that you could like reach these figures that you were reaching. So I definitely was really interested in that. And the other thing that uh, got me really interested is that we are actually chatting, and I thought that like you were a nice guy, and I was just like, yeah, let's go for it.
Perfect. I
So these
appreciate
two
that.
things.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. Yeah, a lot of people think indeed you cannot make millions with YouTube, but it is actually possible. So the real quick reason why it is possible is just because of scalability. Because once you understand it, it's just a matter of repeating and building better systems. It's something that I'm actually in the studio right now as well, and to record a couple of videos
Mm,
about is about building SOPs. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. So the better your instructions are to your freelancers, the better the results will be. And the more easy you can copy something, the more easy it becomes to grow further. So this could either be by automating or by using code or development or AI in order to leverage your time and money to get videos a lot cheaper. So quick question for your content. I assume you're also using a lot of AI. What are the tools you
Yeah.
currently use for your channel?
So the main tools are basically the basic ones. So I use ChatGPT and 11 Labs. But for me, the main thing was actually basically just like mastering mainly the ChatGPT. So basically getting to know how to communicate with it well and to basically give you the best output possible and stuff like that. So yeah, it's basically just like the basic tools, but you have to work on them a lot and
Yeah.
learn yourself how to use all the prompts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and how would you say you managed to go ahead? Because we do some sort of prompt designing inside of the program. So what made you really get that best possible result? Or like not necessarily exactly which prompts you use, but what helped you get the best possible result from the ChatGPT?
Hmm. I would say that it was definitely like observing your thinking process with the ChatGPT because I saw that like how you think when you are using those AI tools is what really helped me a lot. So basically seeing you that you could like basically screenshot all the best performing videos, put it to it, ask it for ideas, then ask it for script, then ask it for to basically split the script in parts and stuff like that was what definitely helped. And even after that, I was able to basically think for myself and come up with my own prompts and own stuff or own strategies to basically improve that AI content. And yeah, so basically just like observing you, how you think, and combining it with what I do. And yeah,
Yeah, combining two things
just like
into
that.
one. So yeah, that's also the goal, and I'm very happy you say that because I always say there's one really easy way to know people get success or not, and it is that they have the creative thinking to use what I show for themselves. If they do that, and then I know pretty much 90% certain they're going to succeed. If they don't, it's normally a chance of luck because the way that I
Mm,
explain things is because I've done all of the stuff myself. So when I do the channel research or the topic researches for like best performing videos, so pretty much applying the 80/20 rule, my goal is to replicate it, but put it in a different package. And the same I do with niches. So I'm giving ChatGPT certain prompts and certain history, or what they like to call in ChatGPT, updated memory to update the memory consistently in order to give and get as much accuracy as possible. So the more accurate it is, the more it writes in the human, the better it gets. I prefer to use ChatGPT. I know a lot of people prefer to use also Cloud for story
mm.
writing, but I feel like when you go into really long stories, it gets a little bit inaccurate and starts to repeat itself. But that's my experience with using Cloud. So yeah, and then for, I assume you use certain types of images. Do you use ChatGPT to generate images, or you use Midjourney, or just general images that you make?
For now, just ChatGPT, but that's definitely the one thing that I'm planning to optimize in upcoming weeks and months because ChatGPT is pretty slow for that. So yeah,
Correct.
I will definitely need to find
Yeah,
something better for that. Yeah,
Leonardi and Sora are also really good, but it depends
yeah.
really what kind of images you're generating. So yeah, it's all just about a little bit of testing, a little bit of playing until you find something that works and that sticks. So I guess that will be very important. So then I have a couple more questions for you. So because you got success, a lot of things that people always ask is like niche, 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 niche.
Yeah,
But your niche is actually something that you also really like. You don't have to specify the niche, but it is about self-improvement. How do you feel
yeah.
like actually having a channel succeed in the actual thing that you also like yourself?
Yeah, like it's amazing. Like the amount of comments from people that I get, comments if I would just like shorten it. Most of them are saying that like the content has changed their life, that they have made some beneficial impact on their lives and stuff like that. And seeing that is like makes like every dollar basically 10 times more valuable that I make from it. So yeah, that's absolutely an amazing feeling. And it's way better than making some pointless
Yeah.
con content basically because I've done both.
Okay.
I've also done the shorts channel that was basically just like brain rot. And yeah, I wasn't really like proud of that and stuff like that. And now I'm like really happy to do what I do, and it's a great feeling. Yeah.
I can imagine that. That's fantastic. And yeah, it's funny that you say brain rot because right now the one that's succeeding the most for me is actually brain rot memes. So that's actually where I'm pulling my views from right now. Managed to get a channel monetized in 14 days, and if it was monetized a little bit earlier,
Nice, nice.
already hit $1,000 a day. But unfortunately, right now, well, unfortunately, it's doing about $250 a day, and then the Polish version is actually doing an additional $100 per day.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was very curious as well. Have you experience or have you gone ahead and experiment a little bit with doing multi-language brands? Is that something you're interested in, or because pretty much what your content is about is English speaking content? Is anyone doing any sort of translations of that, or not really?
Yeah, so from my research, actually, the biggest channels in that niche are actually, or like the channels that are putting the most views are in Portuguese and in Spanish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will definitely try these two languages and see what will happen. I'm already doing the Espanol version, but it's currently not really performing well. But I'm just like 20 videos in, and it's AI related channel, so it will take some time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So now
I-
there's also something really fun you can do. What you can do is you can go ahead and search the content of with your content is about and ask it in which countries that person is the most popular. And then based on that, ask it which languages are applicable to that and then also release that content in that language. Because yes, Spanish will always be an interesting country because Spanish has so much demand and still doesn't have enough supply that it's really easy to go viral in Spanish. But as an example, languages that are doing very well for us are also French, German, Italian, and Polish. Those seem to be our core languages. So you could also take a look at that because in Poland, as an example, we have really high RPMs. I don't know how or why, but sometimes these
nice.
RPMs are like $8. And then I'm talking about brain rot quiz videos.
Hmm.
So having an $8 RPM on a 20-minute video is absolutely mind-blowing. So it can be ridiculously profitable. And now it's doing about $100 a day as well, when my cost is about 18 per day. So I'm making about 80 bucks a day in profit. So it pays for my steak. Pretty much that. Okay. So that was something I was curious about. So
Yeah.
maybe after the call or well, after the recording, we can go ahead and see in which languages that content would also be applicable. You always already answered a little bit of a question that I had is what is the most important part of the program that has helped you the most? So is it in this case using the ChatGPT and optimizing that as much as possible, or is it more sort of the systems like using Loom or certain templates? Like what has really helped you the most?
I would say like it's interesting because I would say that what has helped me the most was actually committing to something and starting to take it serious. Because funny enough, I would say that I've already had a lot of knowledge and all of this stuff like that. I definitely had a lot of gaps that I needed to fill. That was what helped me a lot. But the main thing for me was actually being able to commit to something and to
Yeah.
basically take it serious and to also you confirm to me that I already like was on the right path, that I was doing some of the right things, that I just needed to keep doing them for longer. So yeah, that was definitely the main thing for me.
Okay, that's amazing. And yeah, I think that's for a lot of people really important is to put some sort of commitment behind it. It's the same when people have like New Year's resolutions and they don't really keep their word. So each time you're just pretty much lying to yourself that you won't fully commit to something. And when you put money behind it, you put your word behind it, and you're gonna put in the time and effort, eventually it will be worth it. It will be something that absolutely hits and it will change your life forever. Because like how has YouTube now changed your life? Because you went from earning pretty much nothing with YouTube to now earning like $15,000 a month. Like, what has it done like financially for you? Has anything happened? Did you maybe stop your job, or how does that turn out to be?
So prior to that, I was a student. I basically have completed my final exams like I would say like a week ago. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
something like that. Yeah,
Did you pass?
but yeah, I did.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thanks. But yeah, for me, it would definitely mean that I wouldn't need to find a job and basically go and work at that, and that I can continue working on what I love to do. But On the other hand, I also haven't like changed my lifestyle that much because I'm trying to put as much of the money as possible basically back into the business, back into starting new channels, back into investing in coaching, back into some other mentors, back into investing in my health and stuff like that, and basically growing even more that I currently am. So my lifestyle hasn't changed much. What it's doing for me is that I can work on this full time, which is absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's it.
That's amazing. I'm really happy to hear that. And I just checked your channel as well, and you have about 64,000 subscribers right now. And pretty much, if you keep this up, you're gonna get a play button in like 2 or 3 months. How's that?
Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to that. It would be like nice to hang it somewhere in
Hanging
here,
on the wall.
maybe. And
Yeah,
yeah,
when we have our next call, there's gonna be like a couple play buttons behind you.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
That would be amazing. And yeah, it's really good like to invest into coaches as well. Like I always say to people, unless you're like doing ridiculously well, but even then, I think you should always keep investing into yourself.
Yeah,
I actually just got a mind coach, not a mindset coach, but a mind coach to better understand what I'm dealing with, who I am, what my purpose is in life, like what I really want to achieve, and pretty much look deeper inside of my heart. And I found that very interesting. Also very confronting, to be honest. It wasn't the nicest call, let's say that way, but it was
yeah,
something that was generally making me happy and making me feel more relaxed. Because that was something that I was struggling with, is that I always want to be on, I always want to build, I always want to do stuff. Um, like how do you keep that in balance? Because now you're pretty much you don't have to study anymore. Now you do YouTube full time. Like are you working on like 8 hours a day, or how many hours a day are you working on it right now?
yeah. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of also struggling with is that I basically am sometimes working too much. Basically, I get into something and I want to complete it, and I don't really know like when to cut off and do some other stuff. So currently, I'm doing uh, s- some days I work even for the full day. Some days I try to basically do as much work in the morning as possible. So I like to wake up early and work from that till like 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. and stuff like that, and do as much work as possible. So that's like 8 hours or something. And yes, so that's what I do.
Interesting. And where do you see yourself in like 6 to 12 months from now? Like what are the results you're hoping for?
Well, definitely the main thing that I will focus on is like my input because that's what I can control. But uh, what like would be amazing is that I would like to scale to 50,000 per month. That's like one of my goals for this year. But I'm not really like focusing on that as much. I'm trying to focus on basically starting as many channels as possible, investing in myself, doing like as high quality content as possible for the channel, learning more about AI, and basically stuff that I can control for now.
Very good. I like that you say that. It also shows that you're clever because I always think that people who purely obsess about money, they're losing the point where money is the result of how good your videos are. Money is not necessarily a result of like how hard you're working. The better the systems you build, the smarter you work, the better and the more you reinvest into your business, into yourself. And like you said, the only thing you control is your own input. So the better
Yeah,
SEPs you make, the better people you hire, the better the result will be, and eventually that equivalates to having more money.
yeah, 100%.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Then I also have a question for you. Like, what would you say to someone who is like having doubts of joining a program or coaching or investing into themselves? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say that like the main thing that I would say is that if you really trust yourself to make something like that, and it's basically in everything. It's basically like in the gym. If you want to lose weight, why wouldn't you trust yourself to buy yourself maybe like a year membership in the gym and invest in yourself prior to that? Basically, show yourself that you are serious about what you are talking about. So if you want to start, successful channels, why won't you back yourself up with investing in yourself? If you want to basically work on your mind or something, why won't you back yourself with actually investing in it? And that basically goes for anything I would say in life. So that's what I would say. Basically, if you are really serious about what you're talking about, definitely back yourself up with investing in yourself and in putting the hours in also.
Amazing. That's really good to hear. And like, what are other investments besides YouTube that you're currently making to optimize your life? Because you like a lot of self-improvement. Like, what are other investments that you're currently doing?
So among some other investments are definitely in my health. So I also have like basically a coach on my health, I would say.
Nice.
It's more so like a course or stuff like that, but it's basically teaches me how to like remove the toxins from my body and all kinds of stuff regarding to that, basically all leading to me being more productive, more healthy, more energized, and basically all kinds of positive stuff. So that's one of the investments. And the other is interesting enough, I'm investing in the trading coaches, but honestly, they are more like my mindset coaches because they are like so far above me, like even in life, in relationships, and in all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I also invest in that, and I get like a lot of advice from them. I would say that even like some of the mindset advice had definitely helped me with the YouTube one and being able to combine basically all of these things, the niche down advice from you on YouTube, the mindset advice from them, and like being healthy with that is like basically led to this basically quick success, I would say.
Yeah, you got to success pretty quick. You started like 2, 3 months ago. So when we look back at the channel, it's like end of March. So March,
Yeah,
April, May, June. So it's like literally 2 months, 2, 3 months, and
yeah.
everything
It
shifts.
was like it was like really sick because I found the niche and I was like, I'm committing to that. That's like an amazing opportunity that this could really work. I
Yeah.
actually had school that day, so I just skipped and I created the first video just like right right away to basically get the momentum as soon as possible because the new niche was kind of newer. So I was like, let's just like go right in.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a week from that I technically had passed the monetization, but
Mm.
there's like the YouTube's delay and stuff like that. So it took like basically till 2 weeks. I basically was monetized from my first day, and the channel did like $800 in the day, and I was like, wow, that was like absolutely insane. So it took like 13 or like 14 days from the start of the channel and basically finding the niche to completely changing my life. So
That's insane. It just shows you how quick things actually go. Like, but I always say like there's always preparation to that, like you say. It's like it was the
yeah,
mindset, it was the decision to actually get started. It was the commitment, and you made the commitment to yourself. And normally, I always say like you get like long-term effects, and YouTube is not a get rich quick, but you actually had like a completely different experience. You literally got pretty
yeah,
much rich in 2 weeks.
yeah. But I would say like I did that in 2 weeks, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have like the 2 years prior to that of
Oh yeah, that
like the
makes sense.
experience and stuff like that.
You did have a
So
YouTube Shorts channel, and you did have your own channel
yeah,
that you tried
yeah,
running, and
yeah,
one channel you
yeah,
got monetized. So yeah, so it's pretty much 2 years of preparation into 2 weeks
yeah,
of success.
yeah. But after you are like, I would say for everyone who is watching, like if you have been putting the hours in and like just like working, learning, and if you are maybe already committed on some program, maybe even on one program, like your life can change like really quickly if you're committed. I would say like 2 weeks is pretty unrealistic. I would say in that I
Yeah.
also got a little bit lucky, maybe even a lot lucky. I would say in like 3 months, I don't know how like it will be possible to hit at least like 3,000 a month and stuff like that, and basically just like hit some completely life-changing figures.
Yeah, I really like that you said it as well, because it is indeed not realistic for someone to
Yeah,
join and be like within 2 weeks you're gonna be making like $500 a day.
yeah, yeah,
Like if that was the case, I would be charging way more money, I can tell you that. But
yeah,
no, I always say as well, like the average results when people do 3 months of coaching is that they're making anywhere from $100 to $500 a day by the end of the 3 months. Like if someone starts with zero experience, like you had 2 years prior experience,
yeah,
But when someone starts from zero experience, they literally have to learn and navigate everything as well. So it takes
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a month of them to get ready to have their first up video uploaded. Yes, most people are a little bit quicker. We do put really a lot of pressure on them to go live as soon as possible
yeah,
so they can learn a lot faster. And then it's normally like another 2 weeks to 4 weeks, normally when they hit monetization. That could normally be between 8 to 20 videos. And then by the end of the term, normally when they get monetized, they're already doing between 100 and $300 a day. And then, as an example, yourself doing like $800 on your first day of monetization, or Ariana was doing like 700 a day on her first day of
yeah,
monetization, or a bunch of other results in the Discord. Like there's a lot of people getting success like out of nowhere, and it's a couple hundred a day. Normally it goes down a little bit,
yeah.
but yeah, it goes up and down very nicely. So it's always nice to see all those results being posted. And I also appreciate you for sharing those results inside of the community. Clavel just got monetized as well, couple good
Yeah.
bucks. You even had a really, really, really high day, which you showed me earlier. Like, what is your record day so far?
Well, my record day was like 1,400,
Insane.
and it basically just like started on the 800, then it spiked like to that 1,000 mark, and now it's like at like around $500 per day, and I basically get it kind of consistently, which is
Yeah.
also what I like really like because prior to that I was doing the shorts channel, and there I was like a millionaire in one day and like a homeless person in the other. So right now I love that it's kind of like consistent, that it's not like going all the way around. So yeah, that's absolutely like amazing that it's something that I can rely on. That's
Yeah.
like also a really big thing.
Yeah, and that's a good thing also with the problem with shorts is like you have this whole discussion on YouTube right now. It's like, is YouTube Shorts worth it or not? And it's like, yes, it's worth it when you're a kid. You know, if you're 16 to maybe even age of 20, then YouTube Shorts could really be a good, easy, quick way if you understand content to make a lot of money. But the thing is, YouTube Shorts won't make you truly rich.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Zach D Films and you're a huge company behind it and you understand everything, then yes, it's different. But if you're gonna spam shorts, like if you don't ask for permission, you can get copyright strikes. It depends on which content you use, in which way do you use the content, and then as well, if like the music deals part really got hit hard a couple months
Yeah.
ago. And
Yeah.
yes, there are fixes for it, but these people don't have good dashboards, they don't have good systems, it's very inaccurate and it's just not worth as much anymore. And yeah, you know, I see people on Twitter as well. They get days of $1,000 plus a day as well. But those are like only a few people out of the thousands, if not millions
Yeah.
of people that try
Yeah.
to do shorts. So I always say like the chances of you succeeding with shorts are very much slimmer than they are with actual YouTube automation. When you do like AI channels or YouTube automation channels, it's just so much easier to get consistent results and the results can be way higher. Like I only know like one or two people that are doing over 100K a month on YouTube Shorts, but I probably know more than 10 people that are doing
Yeah.
that on long format, if not more than that. I think I probably can call 20 names that are doing more than 100K a month on YouTube automation. So the amount of people in space that like pretty much hate or shit on shorts. And the thing I hate the most about shorts is not necessarily YouTube Shorts itself. It is the people that make content about YouTube Shorts on YouTube. Whereas like copy me and make 500 bucks a day with
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts. And I'm like, no, that's bullshit. That's just luring in viewers. Um, Also, one of my rules on this channel is my goal is not to get this channel viral. I always like it when people say like, Warner, you're not getting any views on your personal channel. Like, you don't know shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, but that's the purpose. I don't want this to blow up. Even as much as I like this interview, I don't want it to blow up. Why? I want to attract people that maybe it sounds stupid, but want to invest into themselves, that really like YouTube automation, that want to understand, hey, why does someone succeed and why does someone not succeed? You know, I think that would also be very interesting to maybe have an interview with someone who's tried YouTube automation for 6 months and look at why didn't they succeed? I think that would also be really good reverse psychology to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like, why didn't someone succeed? Like, what is the reason? Yeah, okay, I missed like 4 weeks of upload. Well, there you go. That might be your answer. Or it might be like, hey, I uploaded like these thumbnails. And like we had one student that we normally do checks on the channel when we do coaching every
Mm.
2 weeks. So we did the first check and everything was fine. And out of nowhere, the person just went into another niche. And then 2 videos later went into another niche. And the person literally said, like, yes, I'm trying different niches. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You have to make separate channels to try separate niches. You pretty much completely fucked your channel now. And we're like, now we pretty much have to start over because you uploaded like
Yeah.
14 videos, nothing blew up, you got 100 views, and the thumbnail psychology doesn't make sense. Like the titles are had English mistakes. Like that's the reason you didn't succeed. Yeah, sucks to say, but look back. Then I also look and I like that. It's maybe a little bit, I wouldn't say narcissistic, but it's like when people don't succeed, I always look at their data so I can see like which videos they've watched, which videos they don't have watched. And then when they make the mistake on the video they didn't watch, I'm also like, just watch this video. Like, don't bother. So it's
Yeah.
very funny how specifically you can point out the mistakes that people are making. And the great thing with you, with your channel that I like the most, you're the perfect example of if it works, repeat it. You have one thumbnail and it's always the same, nothing
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely love that. You've done an amazing style. You've got amazing results. I'm very proud of how you've achieved it. Is there anything else you want to let the viewers know before we're getting started with YouTube automation?
Well, definitely just like what I've already said, back yourself up with investing in yourself. It's like definitely one of the big things. And the other is once you will do, then definitely listen, because I would say like that's where a lot of those like unaccess like not successful people come from, because you say that they should try different niches and stuff like that, and it may seem like they are listening, but as you can see, like they are doing it on one channel. Like, who told you to do that?
Yeah.
Like yeah, basically, and just like doing like not even putting enough effort to have good thumbnails, to have like good English in the thumbnails. It's like are you trying to do you want to make money or not? It's like one of my mentors like to say, and like yeah, it's like true. Like do you want to be successful or not? You have to basically just like listen. If you have already committed to something, and even like from this free content, if like some successful person tells you something, then definitely like put your ego down and go and do it. I would say like that's like
Yeah, I think you're 100%
a
correct.
key to success.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think when people like try and do their own stuff, they're gonna go ahead and make a lot of mistakes. I think your goal should always to be listen very carefully. It's always like when you're the loudest voice in the room, you're not in the right room. And I think that
Yeah,
that's probably the most accurate quote in that regards. I had the same, like when I was in like a couple of years back, I was in the rooms, like I was making the most money. I was in quotes of money the most successful. And back then, maybe even also in fitness, I was pretty fit in the past as well. But then it's like I'm not in the right room, so you have to leave
yeah,
the room. And for me, leaving the room meant leaving the Netherlands because there was nobody I could look up to or could be like, hey, I want to achieve this, But when I started going to Dubai and I went to
yeah,
Indonesia and I met people that are making like absolutely huge amounts of money and have a way better life and way calmer life than I do. I wouldn't say success is necessarily the chase of money because money is only a tool to be used.
yeah,
And I always say you cannot make money because making money is illegal. You can only take money. Taking money is in the exchange of pretty much goods and services. But making money, well, only the fats are allowed to do that. And if we do so, we end up in jail. So say like it is your ability to take money in one sense or form than it is to really make money. But the better you are at providing a service, helping people grow, getting people results, the more money you will get in exchange as well. And for me, as an example, my toxic thing is that I overwork a lot. Like I'm a workaholic. I can easily work 8, 12, 14 hours a day. I'm now also in the studio. I'm doing 7 hours back-to-back sessions of making content. Why? Well, I want to enjoy a holiday in a couple weeks. I want to go away, but the content doesn't stop. So I have to prepare for my holiday, and now I have to put in the time and effort to later on and go ahead and enjoy and relax. Because if I would make a vlog, hey everyone, today I'm gonna be making some videos, and it's gonna be like, hey, this is interview one, hey, this is interview two, hey, this is like now I'm going to shoot 5 videos and now I'm eating steak and now I'm going to bed. It's going to be a pretty darn boring vlog. That's not what people want to see. So it's always interesting how that goes. What are like the things you're looking for the most in like the future? Like 6 to 12 months from now, you're building, you're reinvesting, you want to get to the 50,000 a month mark. What do you think will actually go ahead and get you there?
Uh, I would say it would be definitely like uh, getting a proper team behind the teams, behind like the channels, so
Yeah,
that I could have more time to invest towards other channels and basically scaling that. Because I would say that like out of that channel, I've basically like reached almost like the peak potential of it. But
yeah,
now I just like need to make more of them, need to expand to other languages, and
completely agree.
also make the AI creation process of the videos faster and more optimized, and even possibly like more high quality. So these are basically the things that I will be focusing on right now, and this could like really move me forward. And then, as you've mentioned, like being the biggest guy in the room, yeah, I'm like really looking forward to basically going to Dubai also. I would also like to go there, possibly during this winter or sometime like that. And yeah, just like being around people that I are way above me. I'm really like looking forward to that, to basically be able to like see what is possible in this world, because like I can imagine that in Dubai there's like a lot of big big fishes doing like a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like really looking forward to that, to basically expanding my mind to what actually is possible in this world.
Yeah, and believe me when I say like sometimes even I think I'm on top, but then there's still new things that I learn, like building better SOP. Like right now I'm trying to move everything to Notion to have all the SOPs ready to be able to do like to do tasks so that I barely have to communicate anymore and I can reduce myself from the workload as much as possible. And of course you can build very complicated but also very simple systems to make everything as easy for as possible. You could, as an example, use Trello combined with Slack and Zapier, or you could use Discord for that, where you could automatically tag the scriptwriter, the editor in that specific chat. So whenever something gets moved over from script to video editor, or from script to voice generator to editor, that it automatically shoots a message personally to that person without any involvement from you at all. Don't have to check it, don't have to do anything. And then eventually you get a manager that actually checks one, the process, but also checks every part in between so that you get better videos without almost any human involvement at all. Which gets great. And then eventually, like the content you're making, you could probably build an AI system for it with using N8N, which is something I'm going to be playing around with more next week, where you could probably make that content from scratch at all without any human interfaces, besides maybe the uploading part, because that's a little
Yeah.
bit tricky with API keys. But that's pretty much it. It is amazing what is possible on YouTube and the scalability of it. Like I've met people also doing three, four, 500,000 a month. But for YouTube, probably the best place to go to is even Vietnam. Vietnam is always where all the monsters hang out. It's
Really?
insane.
Okay.
Yeah, highly recommended. Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi, there's some of the world's biggest offices there in the entire world. So the largest YouTube company in the world is called The Soul Publishing. If people want to Google that, they are the owners of 5 Minute Crafts, and then all the languages, all the channels, and
Hmm.
all the content, huge library. And then besides that, another really big party is called Ask Connect, which is the owners of Wolfu, which looks a little bit like Peppa Pig. So they have a huge brand, a huge IP, and they actually have 4 or 5 offices around the world. I've been there in person. Their office is
Well,
around 1,300 square meters and then 7 floors of it. So it's absolutely insane how large that office is, how many people
that's
they have
sick.
working for them, and all the systems that are there. They have an academy as well. So pretty much the same way as I have like a coaching business, they have like basic like 2D animation design, 3D animation design. So instead of you going to school, you go to S Connect Academy, you learn how to do 3D animations, and then you work in their teams. So it's
That's
insane how
wow.
they have
Okay.
programmed everything to even onboard new people and recruit new people. They're literally running Facebook ads to recruit new people so they can start more YouTube channels. That's how far they are. And I'm like, holy shit, that's like a whole nother level. But those companies are doing hundreds of millions a year. Not 1 million, not that. No, they're doing multiple millions. They're doing over 10 million a month. So yeah, there's levels to levels to levels. And
Yeah.
along the way, there's always stuff you can learn about it. So it's really interesting. Perfect. Then I think pretty much I've covered any and all questions. Is there anything else you would still like to say?
Yeah, just like as you have said, there are levels to the game. There is always something to learn. And yeah, I think that we should all keep improving. And yeah, that, that's it.
Perfect. Do I say it correctly? Is it Jan or John? Jan.
I I have no idea how to say that in like English. In Czech, it's like Jan.
Jan. Okay, so yeah, same as in Dutch
Yeah.
it would be. So Jan, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate it a lot. And for anyone who is interested, we actually have a 3 hour free course that you can watch in our Skool community. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more of these interviews and a lot of tips regarding YouTube automation and business in general. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.